As the patriarch looked closely at the black fireball that Jin had created, he realized that this power Jin is wielding is the power of shadow energy, Barasada's shadow energy, to be exact. This revelation of Jin's powers and the connection to Barasada makes the patriarch question if that means Jin was destined to be the head of the Runcandel family. As the patriarch stared dumbfoundedly into the flames, Jin called out to him as father, asking him to give a name to the power he had just displayed. This request made the patriarch state that this power Jin had shown is the power of Solderit, the god of shadows. Jin, with a calm and collected demeanor, questioned what the god of shadow is, which prompted the patriarch to explain that Solderit made a contract with the founder of the Runcandel family, Lord Tamar, and is the god that helped establish the family. However, since Lord Tamar passed away, Solderit has not appeared before the Runcandels. The patriarch continues, stating that he doesn't know the reason for Solderit's absence, but it seems that he is trying to return to the Runcandels through Jin. Curious about one thing, Jin stops his father to ask a question. That person he spoke of, the god Solderit, is he stronger than you, father? This sudden question makes the patriarch think and pause for a second. He states that he doesn't know since he has never fought a god before. Jin, skeptical of his father's answer, thinks to himself, because you've never fought a god before, with a facial expression indicating acknowledgement of his father's immense power. He continues, stating that this is truly what the strongest man on earth would say. Jin's father, still pondering over the question, reaches out to Jin as he stands in front of him. The patriarch continues by reaching his hands towards Jin's head and patting him, while stating that he asked a great question, and that Jin's innocent question has become a topic of great interest to him. As the patriarch continues petting Jin's head, he states that he thinks coming to see Jin today was a good decision. With that, the patriarch switches up his tone and says, "Then, let me ask you a question in return. That power, how do you want to use that shadow energy?" Jin, with confidence, places his hand on his chest while forming a fist and answers confidently that he would want to use the power for the sake of the family. This makes the patriarch pause for a second as he processes what Jin had said and starts to laugh maniacally, stating, "What an amusing lie." He continues explaining what he means by stating that Jin beat down his older brothers, abandoned them in the storm, and then says that he wants to use the power for the family. As the patriarch finishes his explanation, he asks Jin to tell him the truth, which makes Jin pause for a second. Jin, clenching his fists, acknowledges that his father isn't going to let this go so easily. With a stern voice, while looking at his father straight, Jin states that he wants to use this power for himself, which makes the patriarch pause, while looking at Jin with a straight face. After the pause, the patriarch states that he likes what he heard from Jin, which surprises Jin. As the patriarch walks by Jin, he states that he will keep a close eye on Jin from now on. As the patriarch walks out and the door closes, Jin loosens up his posture and bends his knees to take a break from the exhausting face-off with his father. As Jin sighs, he is glad that he got through that safely. He continues that attaining the right to use shadow energy freely is more than enough, but to think that his father has expectations of him too. This is better than what Jin expected to happen as he walked into that room. This life that Jin is living is really completely different from the previous life he had lived. As the meeting with the patriarch ends, Jin is greeted with a present from his sister Mary, which he questions. She hands it over to the maid, as it's heavy, and states that it's a special present from his older sister. After she hands it over, she gives him guidance on what to do with it, stating that he should boil it well, eat all of it, and get strong quickly. As Mary walks away with defies, she is asked where her luggage is, to which she replies that it's with the youngest. At the same time, Jin is skeptical of the present he got from his older sister and asks why him. As he opens the present his sister gave, both Jin and the maid are shocked to see a phoenix's heart inside the box. To be given this at such a young age is crazy. Jin Runcandel is a 6-star knight and the 7th flag bearer of the Runcandel. She is known as Wind Fairy Mary and has another name that isn't well known, the Mad Woman of the South. The reason why Jin's battle-crazed sister gave him something this precious is obvious to him. As he recalls what his sister said about becoming strong, what she actually meant was for him to become strong, so that he can become her opponent. If the phoenix heart is eaten at a young age, not only does it make one resistant to fire, but it's also an elixir that promotes growth. And now that Jin thinks about it, a phoenix's heart is required for a 6-star mage to summon a phoenix safely. In this life, Jin might be able to summon a phoenix with his own hands. While lost in his thoughts, the maid, Gilly, interrupts him, asking Jin if he waited too long. She continues, saying that Mary gave him such a great gift and asks him to eat it before it gets cold. But before he could start eating, he noticed that his older brothers are drooling behind him. He asks them if they have something to say and, if they do, to say it quickly. Both brothers stop drooling and stand up. One of them states, "It's nothing, it looked like it was too much for you to eat," while the other confirms and continues that he saw Gilly holding a massive pot earlier. Jin asks both brothers if they want to eat it so badly, to which both nod profusely. Jin, with a condescending smile on his face, asks them to do him a favor for the food. One of the brothers, while digging with a shovel, asks, "Why? Why do we have to do something like this?" The other affirming states, "I know, right? There's nothing here. Why are we doing this?" While being concerned about what will happen to them if someone finds out that they dug this out, both brothers keep on mining away. One of them states, "Why would we care? The youngest would get in trouble, not us," and the other confirms that he's right and that they just need to eat the soup.